So the intersection is where two sets cross. It's identified with this sort of upside down U shape. Okay, in this course, if we're using words, that's called and. Okay, because it's A and B. Okay, they're in anything that's in that inside section is in both A and B. So like when you're talking about volleyball and basketball, the intersection is the students who are playing both volleyball and basketball. So we use the word and a lot. Okay? Now union is a U symbol. It's like a weird kind of wide U, but it's a U. And that is all elements that are in either set.
Have all grade 10 students to the rock area, please. All grade 10 students to the rock area.
Okay, so union, just to be really, really clear, is all three numbers. Okay, it's like all of A, all of B, including that middle space. And we use the word or a lot. So this is and. Okay, and that is union is or. So with volleyball and basketball, when we were looking at that, if I asked you, do you play volleyball or basketball? Okay, and if I was like you play volleyball or basketball, you'd be like, you might say which one you play, or you might say both or whatever, but it's like, if it's just a yes or no question, as long as you play one or the other, or even both, you're going to say yes. Okay, if I gave you like a question on a piece of paper that said, do you play volleyball or basketball, and it was yes or no, and you had to circle one or the other, as long as you played one or the other, if you belong to any of these three categories, you would say yes, okay, because you're in the union. So this is important, these symbols. You really have to know them. You have to know when you see them, you have to know what to do with them. You will be asked, remember yesterday we were looking at the notation with the number. Okay, so like number of elements in A, number of elements in B, that stuff. So remember, like if you had something like, okay, say like, actually let's just look at that basketball and volleyball one again. I can't remember what the numbers were, but it was like 15, right? And then there was, I can't remember what the other numbers were. 11 and 12 or something. I don't know. 8. Okay. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter. But let's just say we were looking at this one. Okay. So if you're looking at this one and I asked you, what is NV? That would mean, because I'm still getting people asking me about this, that would mean the number of students playing volleyball. Well, the number of students playing volleyball here would be all of these, because they're playing volleyball, they're just playing volleyball, but these 15 as well, right? Because they're playing volleyball too, they just play both. So that would be here 26. Okay, I should put an equal sign. Okay, 26 students play volleyball. That's what N of V means. It means how many are in volleyball. And if I said N of B, right, same thing, N of B, if I did it here, I'll do it in green, would be those 15 plus the 8, so it'd be 23, okay? So that's how many people we have. Now, if I wanted to ask some questions, like I could ask some things like, what's N of V intersect B, like that, okay? And that would mean the number of V and B. Okay, that's how you'd say it, V and B. And so if we're talking about V and B, we're talking about that middle number, okay? So just the 15, okay? That's what we're talking about there, okay? The number of V intersect B. Ooh, whoa, exciting. Okay, now if we're doing the number of V or B, which is union, okay, how would I write that? What would be volleyball or basketball? How many would be in that? Okay, so union means all of the numbers, like everything inside the 3. So union here would be 11 plus 15 plus 8, which is, I think, 34. Okay, and so that would be that. So this is like the notation kind of stuff of this. Okay, this is the way you should be writing it, especially if I ask you to use correct notation or to use set notation. I should be seeing this stuff. Okay, If I just say like how many students are playing volleyball, you can just say 26 are playing volleyball, right? You can just write it out. But if I say like show in set notation how many students are playing volleyball, then you have to use some of this method of writing, which is so it's important to know it. So please kind of try to stay familiar with it. Try to use it when you're being asked. Even if you're not being asked, it's certainly not bad practice. Okay, so let's just look at some more vocabulary here. This like backslash, A backslash B there, is read as A minus B. What that means is it's the elements that are in A but not in B. Okay? So it's like you're looking at A and you're covering up B. What I don't like people doing is people do this a lot, is they'll be like, oh, okay, well, this is what I see a lot of it. It's not very good. If I saw something like, if I had something like this, and it was A, B, and there was like 6 here and 2 here, people are like, oh, A minus B, and they're thinking like actual minus, and they're like, well, it would be 6 minus 2. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about it's A if you like covered up or took out B. So actually, I'll show you the different situations you could have. Yeah, I'll show you how it actually works. A minus B, if we have B intersect, or sorry, not intersect. What's this symbol? Does anyone remember? I saw it yesterday.
Inside.
Inside, that's right. Subset, but it is inside. So B is inside of A. Okay, it's good. It's good to know what it actually is. Okay, so that's A. And then if B is completely inside of it. Okay, if I'm doing A minus B, what that means is all of A except what's in B. So it's this part of A. Okay, so it's anything in that area. Does that make sense? It's like if I covered up B. I'm like, it's not B, but it's everything else that's in A. Okay, does that make sense to everyone? That part? Okay, let's look at the next. If they're disjoint, so if they're like what I just drew up above. Okay, so remember disjoint, if you weren't here yesterday, disjoint means two sets that don't touch each other. Okay, they have nothing to do with each other. They have nothing in common. So if they're A and B like completely separate, then A minus B is all of A. Because no part of B is inside of it. So I don't have to subtract any of it. Like it's not actually a subtraction, is kind of what I'm trying to say. Like don't think about it as subtracting. It's like you're just taking out the part that is inside. So if there's nothing inside, nothing needs to be removed. Now the most common situation is A and B are intersecting. So if you have A and B like that, if I do A minus B, it's just going to be this part. Okay? Because it doesn't include this piece, because that piece is also B. So this is like those questions that you were just doing. They're harder kind of when there's notation involved, to be honest. Like they're easier to just read. It's like the ones you were doing where it was like, how many students are in drama but not band? Okay? That means drama minus band. It's drama minus the band students. We're not including them. Okay? Or band minus drama if you're going the other way. Or when it was the skiing, the snowboarding, how many people are going to ski but not snowboard, like just ski. Okay, so that's what we're looking at there. Does that make sense? Nari?
The question was kind of was like so on this drama no band, you say D and then slash B.
That's right.
And then if it was the other way around, it's just
B slash D. That's right. So that's great. That's really a good question. Okay, so the ones that are on that worksheet, like drama, but not band, you would write that probably as D backslash B. And if we were talking about band but not drama, you would write B backslash D. Okay? So this is just like, I know it's confusing, it kind of sucks. There's like a specific notation that you have to learn. Unfortunately, that's just a part of life that we all have to, we have to move forward with. But the notation's not great. But it is actually, tomorrow, I'll have it for you tomorrow. And I'm glad I didn't do it earlier, because if I'd laminated formula sheets and then I had to make more, I'd be so pissed off. So I'll make them hopefully for tomorrow. I'll do them tonight maybe, if I can get in there. I'll get you guys some formula sheets. This stuff, a lot of it is actually on the formula sheet, so it's nice. It has like the union symbol and it says it's union or something like that. I can't remember exactly. That's on your departmental you'll have. Okay, I actually think I'm gonna